Welcome to the Kind Leader Podcast, where empathy meets action in the world of leadership. Your host, Gino Degregori, engages with innovators and seasoned professionals from diverse sectors, all demonstrating the power of leading with kindness. And now, your host, Gino Degregori.
Today's guest believes that your career and relationship should fuel each other, not compete. If you ever wondered how to lead with heart without sacrificing performance, this conversation is for you. Hello, I'm Gino Degregori, and welcome to the Kind Leader Podcast. Our guest today, Gabriela Embon, is a certified life coach and relationship strategist who brings a unique perspective to personal and professional growth. After 8 years as a chemical engineer, she transitioned into couples coaching, fusing logic, intuition, and neuroscience to help high achievers engineer thriving careers and resilient relationships. Very excited to have Gabriela here with us. So Gabriela, welcome. If you can kick us off, share a little bit about you and your journey, please.
Thank you, Gino. Very happy to be here. Yes, of course. So my journey started with a passion for science. So very early in my life, I knew I was going to study sciences, and I became a chemical engineer and launched my career in that field. However, 8 years into the career, I realized that what actually motivated me, inspired me, and passionated me the most was working with people. Luckily, I work in a big company, Intel, so working with people was not a problem. I was more motivated by training others and mentoring others than by improving the process of Pentium 4. So that led me to a career change. And of course, I made this very quickly, but I started feeling a lot of dissatisfaction, feeling misaligned in my career, and did my soul searching to find what I want to do. Now, of course, this sounds very simple, and it's not difficult. It's just a process you have to go through. And then I decided to become a coach. I certified as a coach and started my career as a coach, building my practice one break at a time. Right. So the myth that, just find what you want to do and go do it. Yes, of course. But you don't have a line of clients waiting for you the moment you graduate from your certification. So I would say that building my coaching practice, becoming an entrepreneur was probably the fastest way to grow, a fast track into personal development, having to work on my self-worth, my beliefs about success, money, and it opened a Pandora box of things I was not aware, blocks, beliefs, limiting stories, and dramas that I carried that I wasn't aware. So that's pretty much my story. I transitioned into my coaching career, primarily coaching men, actually. Okay. That was my first niche because it felt so natural to me coming from the engineering world.
Yeah.
My first job, I mostly worked with men, my first 4 years. And what I noticed is that every time the conversation would change or turn into family life, I could see that there was a shift in their voice. So as confident as they felt in their career, in the conversation around success and career, as uncertain as they felt in the arena of marriage, relationships, home. And that actually broke my heart because I've been happily married for 27 years. My husband has a successful career. I'm an entrepreneur. So I know that it's possible to have both, that you don't need to compromise one for the other.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And then definitely we'll dive right in a little bit more about that here in a bit. But a little bit more about you real quick. You're in Canada, is that correct?
That's right.
And which part?
I'm in Montreal.
Montreal, very nice.
Montreal, yes.
Very pretty, especially.
Yes.
All year round, I guess, but in the winter it's pretty cold, but it's still pretty, I bet.
It is, yes. Compared to other parts of Canada, is okay.
Right,
it's bearable.
Right. But where are you originally from?
I'm from Argentina. Well, I was asked, this is the third time I'm asked that question.
Okay.
And yesterday I was asked that, I said I come from the land of great meat and soccer.
That's right. Great meat and soccer. Very cool. Yeah, I was actually born in Peru, so we're neighbors. Right? Never been to Argentina. Hopefully, I'll get the chance to go someday. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. Thank you, and congratulations on all your success in your journey. It's very interesting. We'll dive in a little bit more. But the first question that I love asking my guests here is, what does being a kind leader mean to you?
I think being a kind leader is, I will name 3 characteristics. One is clarity, coming from a place of purpose, clarity, knowing what the impact you're here to create, and not coming from a place of ego, saying, for the title. So that's one. Authenticity, purpose, that's one. And the other one is coming from a place of strength or commitment, knowing that it might take you out of your comfort zone. You might have to do things you're uncomfortable, say things you're uncomfortable, show up in ways that are out of your comfort zone, like communicating sometimes when it's not pleasant to call on someone and their behavior.
Right.
And the third one will be heart. That connects to purpose, but it goes beyond heart, meaning wanting to serve, not to take, but coming from a place of wanting to serve, wanting to impact, wanting to understand. So clarity, strength, and heart, which for me, I can put everything together with one word. And that word is commitment. I love that word because that word doesn't equal obligation. For most people, commitment means obligation. For me, commitment means that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill my purpose and do what's right, even if I don't feel like it, even if it's out of my comfort zone. And that applies also in relationships, right?
Yeah. That also, applies to yourself too, committing to yourself, right? And then
Right. Do I always feel like going to the gym? Of course not. But I'm committed, right? So commitment is not fueled by feelings.
Yeah.
I feel like it or not. It's fueled by intention. And that's why the clarity, the intention, the purpose is so important, because that basically helps you stay committed.
Absolutely. No, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing your perspective. Do you have any stories, especially maybe, you mentioned being in a all male environment, right? Like from an engineering perspective, but the different personalities and stuff like that, but that you experience a kind leader, a mentor, or yourself?
The first 4 years as an engineer, I worked in a company very low tech, while Intel were the last 4 years very high tech. The first one was the opposite, to say the least, walking like a distillation plant, basically, with working shoes and working clothing and construction hat. And that was primarily working with men. Yes, I did have a mentor. I think I always had a mentor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I remember the person. I had a mentor, and he taught me how important, and I think this is really important for leadership, is for me to learn the work from the ground up, from the floor up.
Yeah.
So when I started working as an engineer, and I was not managing all these men, but professionally I was leading them, guiding them, right? I was that professional authority. I decided that I was going to take the first 6 months to actually work with them and do everything they do, even though I wasn't required to. I could ask them, go sample that. No, I would go and do it myself. Because I remember saying, I never want to be in a position where one of them tell me, why are you asking this? You have no idea what you're asking for.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I said, if I'm going to work with these people as a team towards a common mission, I need to know exactly what they're doing. So when I ask something, I'm asking the right thing. I understand what I'm asking them for. It makes sense.
Right.
And they cannot tell me, oh, you never touch that, right? It's very easy for you to lead from your office.
Right.
So I was, in the beginning of my career, very hands-on. And I believe in that principle. So moving forward to my coaching career, I built my coaching practice. And 7 years into my coaching practice, people asked me to start teaching. And that led to the birth of the Coaching Academy, where we certify coaches, they become members of ICF. But I still kept coaching on the side. And people say, why are you taking one-on-one clients if you are, so busy teaching the next generation of coaches? And I said, because I never want to lose track of the work itself.
Right.
I'm teaching you not from a manual. Yes, there is a manual,
Right.
but I'm teaching you from experience. It's like being a heart surgeon, but you stopped doing heart surgery years ago. Now you only teach. So I believe in that. I believe in first know what you are teaching, what you are mentoring for. Do the work, start from the ground up.
Right.
That's what I believe in.
No, that's great. And that gives you a huge perspective too, right? Because especially, I call it the front lines, right? And it's good to kind of come down and make sure you understand the situation, because if you're too far in the back or on the top, however you want to describe it, the perspective gets lost, right? Yeah, you have the vision, you have the drive, but are the conversations with our customers still happening the same? Or our conversation with our people still, going the same thing? Like, for example, as we talk about kind leadership in my organization, there's training that we do, but is the training happening all the way down? Are people really delivering the same message the way I delivered it on what I think kind leader means, right? So we've been working very hard actually on this topic as it relates to making sure that we are training the trainers to train the trainers, but all go all the way down to ensure that the message flows properly, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's also, I find myself being very repetitive because I want to make sure that people are understanding, right? And maybe some people are like, oh, here he goes again. Or they're more like, oh, that's very intriguing. So I have to find and be creative at times to make sure that I don't sound repetitive, but I sound like, this is an important topic. But I mention it because I know it's needed, especially understanding our people on the front lines. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And what you said, it's so important, finding creative ways of sharing the same message. Mm-hmm. When I teach coaching, I tell the coaches that the most impactful asset that we have as coaches is our words.
Yeah.
Because we can basically share the same idea in different ways, depending on who's in front of us, who's your client. So having this ability to adapt your message according to the person you're talking to, you can explain exactly the same, but in different ways. That's what allows you to be a much more impactful leader. And I would just go, I would go between cubicles or go to the floor, whatever you're managing or leading, and ask, so what's the mission of the company?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And see if the people down there are aware, if they are on board, if the message was able to reach everybody properly.
Exactly. So let's pull a thread on the coaching side. You coach a lot of high performance out there, and one of the things I think from I read from your background is you're saying that why traditional work-life balance fails for high performance. You want to elaborate on that? What does that mean?
Yes, of course. So traditionally, people look at work-life balance as dividing your time, your hours throughout the day, and making sure you arrive home early enough to have time with your family. And while this is great if you're able to do it, of course, normally for high achievers, it just doesn't work, in simple words, right? Because it implies that you are dividing, you're compartmentalizing. I can't say that word. It's too hard for my Spanish accent, but your life.
Yeah.
And rather than doing that, what we are aiming for is integration. So I want to give you examples of how integration would look like.
Okay.
What I mean integration, I mean that you see your career and your family and your romantic relationship as different parts of one mission rather than competing forces that you are trying to juggle between them.
Right.
So, for example, you might not be able to have dinner every night with your family because sometimes you have to stay later at work. But when you are home for dinner, my first question is, are you fully present? Of course, is your phone away? But we can take this to the next level and use the dinner table, as an opportunity to connect with your family, connect with your children by asking questions, by conversing, by staying after supper a little bit. So you can actually have a quality 1 hour quality time with your family.
Right.
So this is a ritual we've been practicing in our family for years. And at this point, when the children, are older,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of fun. In the beginning, it's a lot of sit properly, don't throw your, table manners and stuff
Right.
like that. But they grow into that. And now these conversations are very enriching, where
Right.
we're asking, what happened today? What was the highlight of your day? Or one of them will bring a topic or a question if we are discussing, career, what to study. And then everybody is asking clarifying questions, listening, we're coaching each other.
Right.
But the children are doing it. They're coaching each other. They're contributing. It's not my husband and me leading the conversation anymore.
Great. Yeah.
It's very dynamic. So that's how you integrate, right? Family, and you can share what's going on at work. So when people know, we drop assumptions. So if your family knows that yesterday you stay longer because you're launching this, new product, or you're facing this challenge, they can actually contribute and give you ideas right away.
Right.
And from a very detached place, which could be very beneficial. But they also will understand why you were not at home.
Right.
When we don't understand, the brain will default for the worst stories ever, right? Or he doesn't care. It's not that important. But that's what I call by integration. Bring your family, your relationship together with your career. When, go for a walk with your partner at the end of the day, even if it's just a walk around the block, share what's going on. Keep each other informed, share. Don't close one door to open another. Allow information to flow, and make sure that when you are with your family, when you are with your spouse, you're fully present, but also sharing with them what's on the other side. Now, we are engineers, both of us, right?
Right.
So this is a really nice monologue, but to put this in bullet points, there are what we call integration rituals.
Okay.
So integration rituals, we can divide them in two different types of rituals. One is operational rituals, and one is connection rituals. Think about your work, your company. You have operational rituals. Their purpose is to make sure that information flows, that everybody's on the same picture, that there's a common vision. Same with your family, right? Even though your company might have different departments, you want to make sure everybody's working towards a common goal.
Right.
So operational rituals are the rituals that allow for communication, coordination, and collaboration between you and your spouse, and eventually your children.
Right.
So it's a weekly meeting to plan the week ahead, to make sure that everybody's needs are met.
Right.
And not, I stay longer now, nobody's picking your child from school.
Right.
So weekly planning, daily check-ins. Daily check-ins are 5-minute conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that tomorrow I won't be home, that tomorrow I have this and this event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then communication on demand is when you're going through a difficult or busy or overwhelming time, and you tell your spouse, let's sit and talk about the next couple of weeks, because these are going to be very intense times. Let's make sure we're in this together. So the communication between the couple allows for coordination,
Right.
and allows for collaboration, and makes you feel like you are in this together. Even though your spouse might be spending this week more at work than at home, you know what's going on. You know what you are supporting, why you're supporting your spouse, because there's a common vision.
Mm-hmm.
This is on the operational side. But you know that in your company, I'm sure you also have what we call team buildings.
Right.
And these are rituals with the purpose of creating cohesiveness and connecting emotionally with the different team members. So connection rituals are exactly that. Their purpose is to make sure that you continue nurturing the bond between you and your partner, even when life gets busy.
Right.
And that's why I love the word rituals, because you don't need to think, you don't need to find time in your schedule. They are part of your schedule. You don't
It
need
just
to think
happens.
that you brush your teeth in the
Right.
morning. They are part of your schedule.
Yeah.
So the rituals allows you to stay committed, doing what needs to be done without you having to prioritize,
Right.
take extra time, think about it. No, this is what we do. I don't need to think. I don't need to feel like it. I'm committed.
Yeah.
And connection rituals, I will name 3, can be a daily walk with your spouse, a 90-minute weekly date, extremely important. You might need to reschedule it if there's something going on last minute at work, but have a 90-minute weekly date where you get to date your spouse. Not to talk about operational stuff, but to talk about
Connection.
how are you?
Connection, right? Not execute the operation.
How was your week on a scale from 1 to 10? What do you need? Or just fun. Let me tell you what happened at work yesterday. This was, whatever you want to talk about.
Right.
And very important, in the craziness, a morning hug or a cuddle, or if you don't wake up at the same time, at least when you meet in the morning, a morning hug, a kiss goodbye, and a kiss hello at the end of the day. Physical connection leads to emotional connection. So if I summarize this, because this was a lot, it starts with your mindset. Don't see your career and your relationship as competing forces, and you feel like you are trying to juggle between them. See them as 2 parts of one mission. And they are. You wouldn't want to have one without the other. Keep in mind your career will end. You will retire, but we never retire from our relationship. So that's something important. If you practice operational rituals and connection rituals, you're going to feel you're in this together.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what integration feels like, unlike balance.
I love it. Well, thank you very much. That was a great. I was so captivated by the way you're delivering your message here that I didn't want to interrupt the flow there. But I do have a lot of follow-up questions to that. So I've always felt like there's a difference between, the Gino at work and the Gino at home. I've been working the last few years to try to integrate that, right? Let my kids, wife know I'm the same person. Although I don't feel like I have to become this other person when I'm in the, as a CEO running a company. I just know that I need to deliver my message, and my energy might be a little bit different, but I'm still the same person. I'm still delivering the thing. Compared to it at home, I feel like a little more relaxed and don't have to have that energy, right? So I think that a big difference from my work and home and that energy that I carry. I welcome your feedback on that, but I feel like I'm still the same person, but I carry different energy. Does that make sense?
It does. And yet I do have a question for you about that. When you say at home I can be more relaxed, does it mean I feel I am always accepted and loved no matter what? I don't need to perform?
Interesting, yeah.
Or does it mean I just sit on the couch and just say, okay, I had a long day. Here's my time to relax.
Right. I think it's more relaxing than but I could also, they also make fun of me, right, all the time, right? So they pick on me. So and I don't, from a professional life, there's no people out there picking on me. And I welcome that. I like the little banter here and there, but it's definitely want to make this conversation about me per se, but I just wanted to share the integration from that perspective. Because the other thing that I like what you said is the operation. I never saw it as this, the operational and the connection, right? Every business that you manage, you got the operation execution, and you got the connection from an HR perspective, right? And bringing that to the home is very critical, right? I feel like I have the connection, I won't say it's perfect, but I do have my Saturday nights, dates with my wife, take her out. And then every Friday, I have 3 kids. I take one of my kids. Kind of been on and off right now just because of the summer and stuff like that, but make the intention of taking them out for just whatever they want to do, right? Started that about 4 years ago. And that's been working great. I'm connecting with them, sharing with them. They can ask me any questions. And then we as a family on Sundays, we make the intention to go out to eat or go out on a hike, just together, right? So that, I think we're doing the connection.
We are doing it. Yeah, these are beautiful rituals.
On the operational side, I feel like there's still some room for improvement. I think my wife does an amazing job at managing, the entire household. So I feel like, that's her domain, and I contributed, I participated, right? But that's her domain, and she's doing an amazing job in that. So I think the operation is being done. Obviously, I help in different areas, but that she is the one kind of navigating. And I can sense sometimes she's like, "Oh, can you pick this up?" Right, and I'll pick it up and grab it, depending on the situation. But I never saw it from how you were describing. I mean, it's very similar. So if we can kind of bring those rituals from both ends, right, or both spectrums, and integrate it as part of that is more. And then you look at, okay, what is the overall mission, and how do you bring the integration and the intentions together? That's a great perspective to have, and it makes it easier to make decisions and drive.
That's right. And you tap on a very important word: make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Decisions need to be made together.
Yeah.
And it's even in your company, you have different departments, right?
Yeah.
And everybody has their roles and responsibilities. Your relationship is like a business with two co-founders. And it's okay that everybody has their roles and responsibilities.
Right.
So your wife manages the home.
Yep.
But decisions about the mission need to be made together. Big decisions need to be made together. Financial decisions need to be made together, about the children as well. So I would encourage still having that weekly planning meeting.
Yeah.
Because even though it's very clear who does what, you want the flow, the information. You want to be aware of what each one of you are doing. I'll tell you what it will do. It might not change what you do. You might still do the same, and she might do the same, but it will change the way you feel.
Yeah.
Therefore, it will deepen your connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's no limit of how deep your connection can go.
Yeah.
And the more connected you feel, the more you create that power couple synergy, then you'll be able to create more.
Right.
So I challenge you to try this, let's say for a month. So it's 4 weekly meetings.
Right.
And see if you feel different.
Okay.
I think your relationship will feel different, and you're going to feel like you want to do more.
Right.
But not from conquer more, but feel like you have extra support, and she has extra support.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I think there's a great perspective there into not being involved, and then I want to make it clear that I definitely am involved, right, in this conversation.
No, I know.
But it's more of the ritual of sitting down and like, oh, what does this week look like, right? Like, what are you doing? What am I doing? How can I help? How can we support? I think the support structure will provide a better platform to access that.
Let me give you an example. If there is a problem in one of your departments in your company, but the other departments are not aware what they were working on, before you solve a problem, now you need to catch up.
Yeah, right.
Let me start sharing with you what we were doing, what we were working on. Right? Now, if everybody's aware, even though everybody's doing their part, but you are aware what everybody's working on.
Yeah.
So if there is an issue that you need to address, you can get right into it because you know what everybody's working on. You understand what I'm saying? So your reaction time is going to be faster, and you're going to feel more like a team.
Right. Absolutely. No, I like that. I definitely want to start looking into that. And it's a great perspective, when it comes to, that integration rather than work-life balance, right? And being part of the awareness and execution of all of that. So, but no, this is great. I love that. And that's why you have a book about that, right? That goes in more detailed explanation about how leaders are creating that power couple, right? So
that's right. The book works through the 4 pillars to build that power couple synergy. And it brings the parallels between the engineering world and their relationship and, romantic relationship.
Yeah. And then from a kind leader perspective, how do you treat each other and how do you keep each other accountable? Is that something that you talk about that as well in your book?
Yes. That's why the 4 pillars are important. To look at the framework of the 4 pillars allows you to make sure that you're responsible, accountable for what's yours.
Yeah.
But you're also very kind because the first pillar is me and the second pillar is you.
Right. Okay.
You, my partner.
Right.
and understanding my partner, how they operate, respecting their ways. And there are plenty of examples, even how do you communicate according to who your partner is,
Right.
and how do you respect their space, their time, and their ways of doing things, creating things. My husband and I were very different. We work very differently. I'm more tactical, he's more strategic. So it teaches you how to gap and how to really have a lot of understanding and compassion towards your spouse. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. Great conversation so far. There's this next segment that I'd like to talk is flip the mic. Well, I let you ask me a question. What question do you have for me?
Same question you asked me before we started recording. What's a small yet meaningful moment thing you experienced lately?
Yeah, so I just recently took my kid to, he's in second year into college, and I've been driving with him back and forth. I mean, so the school is about an hour and a half from where I live, and we've been back and forth, right? So with my wife in the car and doing all this moving, all this stuff, it's those little times, right? We'll probably 10 years from now forget all that travel we just did, but we'll remember the experience, right, of having his first own apartment, being on his own, essentially, right? Teaching him about the responsibilities. Obviously, we still support him. He's 20 years old, but we still support him while he continued to go to college. And I think my wife and I have a good balance of giving and also structure and like, okay, I'm a responsibility, right? And that was memorable for me, right? It was gives me a smile on my face because it's getting ready to, finish 3 more years of school and getting ready to go out. But these moments, right? These drives back and forth, it may seem tough and hard, right? Just because you're on the move and stressed and all that stuff, but it's worth it. So thank you for that question.
Beautiful.
Awesome. So as we start closing it up right here, rapid fire questions for you. So what's one book every leader should read?
The Big Leap, Hendricks.
The Big Leap. Perfect.
And The Surrender Experiment. Too,
that's a good one.
Michael Singer.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah. What's a favorite quote or mantra you live by?
It's a quote I normally share. I used to be on my Facebook banner. I changed it with my book now, but it says, you don't need to figure it out to start. You just need to start to figure it out. I strongly believe that clarity is found in the doing. So if you are confused, take a step forward.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. If you could have coffee with anyone in the past or present, who would it be and why?
So this is going to be more personal. I would love to have coffee with a brother I had, older than me, that I didn't have a chance to meet.
Okay. That's great. Thank you. Well, thank you, Gabriela, for your time. Where can our listeners, connect with you, explore more about your book, and learn more about you?
On my website, Gabriela with one L, Gabriela Embon, EMBON.com. And they can find the book there as well as in Amazon, of course. Becoming a Power Couple, 4 Pillars to Engineer a Legendary Marriage.
Beautiful. What's a final thought you want to leave with our audience?
Practice connection. Many couples say we have a crisis in communication. Communication, the way you communicate, is a byproduct of the connection level you have with your partner. So practice the connection rituals, and you'll see that your communication very effortlessly will shift as well. When partners feel emotionally connected, they communicate to understand, not to win. So practice the connection rituals. Go say goodbye to your partner at the door. Give them a kiss. Wish them a good day. I know it sounds too simple.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it is simple, but it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Greet them at the door when they come home. Ask them, how was your day? Give them a hug or a kiss.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Actually, that's just something click just real quick before we end is if you're having challenges with communication and if you don't have the connection, the communication is not going to be there. So yeah, making that effort to make that connection is critical. And I've been blessed and thankful, I've been married for 23 years now. And that's something that we do, right? We say goodbye when we're going places or when we come home. We say we stay connected. You'd be surprised, those little hugs, right? They're a lot, right? I mean, it's the little things that
Exactly. It's the little things. And you'll be surprised how rare this is, what you just shared. So you should know that what you're doing, it's very special. It's a great legacy to your children, because then they're going to repeat that.
Yeah.
And it's quite rare. So,
well, thank you. And I mean, it just comes, it's just something that, but to your point, it's legacy too, because they'll see it, and then hopefully they'll bring that into their.
And you bring it to your work.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you feel emotionally connected with your spouse, when you feel whole at home, you're not hiding parts of you. You show up at work full.
Absolutely.
Rather than fragmented. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much again for a powerful conversation and a great lesson. I mean, I was like very just listening and sharing that stuff. Definitely read the book. And so thank you again for being part of this opportunity. And to our audience, thank you for listening to the Kind Leader podcast. And remember, be kind, bring value, rise together. Have an amazing day, everybody.